Designed this space, which is the master bath. I'm a second generation interior designer. My mother is also a designer, and I'm based here in Orlando. In fact, I'm born and raised in Orlando, so I'd like to welcome all of you that are from out of town to be here. And then this is the team of installers. This is Buck Collins and his team from Collins Tile, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how the evolution of the master bath came about. I was contacted and asked if I would be interested to design this space, and so right off the bat I said yes. But I really didn't have any details, so I thought, what in the heck did I just sign up for? Because I had no idea what all this was going to involve. But they gave me a list of vendors, suppliers, that were going to be able to provide product and also labor for me. And so I took this on as a project just like I would in any other type of design project with a client. But I thought of the client being all the different vendors that were involved in this. So part of my process was to make sure that we were able to show off everything that went in here. Now, unfortunately, since if you had come before when the project was being installed, you'd see what was underneath all this tile. But now that it's finished, a lot of that has been covered up. So there's actually underlayments, adhesives, the grout, the metal trims, all of these different things were provided for us in order to create this master bath, as well as the donation of the plumbing fixtures. So I wanted to come up with a theme. I wanted to do something exciting, eye-catching, hopefully memorable, and I think, you know, maybe you'll have nightmares at night when you see my crazy design that's up there, but you'll remember me. So I came up with this concept of trying to show off all the different types of tile that could be incorporated together. So you'll see in this space there are basically 4 types of tile. There's porcelain tile, which is on a large scale, and I'll step up here because not only have we combined the material itself, but also there's a variation in finishes. And if the light catches the wall in the right angle, you'll see that the porcelain tile, which is in a large format of 24 by 24, uses a polished finish and also a matte finish. So it's polished, and then this is considered to be a honed finish. On the floor, I've again used the large format 24-inch porcelain tile and a matte finish, but I've incorporated these embossed stainless accents. And I wanted to really make the rear wall the focal point. So I have kind of this runway landing strip with the V design as you come up closer, and you can see that that kind of draws your eye back to what is hopefully the more focal point piece of art in the whole space. Then all the countertops, the shower division, and the little privacy wall are all sheeted glass mosaic tiles using just solid colors of glass. And again, I thought that added a little bit of sparkle to the whole space. You can maybe pick up on this. It's a little bit retro in design, and I keep telling people it's like the Mod Squad of master baths is the quote that they've put out for all the publications, where I wanted it to be indicative somewhat of 70s fashion, and it would be using the flame stitch design, which is very popular again, using all the colors that you see, which again are kind of indicative of the 1970s. You can even see I brought in some accessories like this bench, which is reminiscent of the fashion designer Emilio Pucci, just again to kind of make it a little retro. But the focal point then would be, once again, the rear wall. And that's just plain old glazed ceramic tile. And that's one of the things that I have said throughout this process. When I started designing about 30 years ago, the tile industry has changed so much. Glazed tile was about all we had. So if you wanted to do something interesting, you had to do it out of tile. Now we have all these other types of tiles with porcelain and stone and glass and mosaics, metallics. But I wanted to combine all that back together and kind of come back to our roots, where we could create an interesting design in solid colors with tile. Now that might have been a little bit tricky with the installation, because I think Buck will tell you every type of tile in here has a different thickness, and so that was a real challenge to get everything in plane with one another and to be flush and meet up. So I'll turn it over to Buck.
Thank you, Grant. I'd like to start off just by saying what a pleasure it's been working with a designer such as Grant. Excellent communication skills that's basically helped us as a contractor bring together such a high-quality installation, providing us with such detailed drawings, knowing exactly what to expect, although there were a few unexpected items midway through. We were very easily able to overcome those. Grant being on site was just, it's absolutely appreciated, and working again with you has just been a pleasure. The biggest challenges that we face, as Grant just alluded to, would be directly relative to none of the actual tile materials that we use being of the same thickness. So we had a lot of elevation challenges to overcome, which we solved in many different ways. We won't get into that, but the installation came out beautifully. I'd like to thank first and foremost three guys, three of our top employees who just worked night and day to make this happen. The fact that this was built in 4 days with the level of intricacy that this design required is just amazing. We got Abraham Cardenas, Peter Rivera, and Carlo Velez, all some of our top employees that we brought down from the Northern Virginia area, the suburbs of Washington, D.C. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors who contributed: Crossville Artile, USG on our underlayments, Ruby Tools, Mape for all their great setting materials. They all performed flawlessly. Toto, Schluter, there's many others I'm sure I'm missing, but without the sponsorship of these manufacturers, none of this would be possible. Again, just the undesiring amount of talent that we brought. These guys just worked night and day to make this happen, and just came together just perfectly.
No, it's been great. I mean, we've been on site every day together, trying to work together. Just again, if there was a glitch, we wanted to make sure that we put out any fires and got it finished. And if you get a chance, you know, when we're done visiting everybody's space, I'll take you back through and show you some of the features too, of even like one of the hip features of my design here is the toilet, which does everything except wash your windows. It's incredible. So it's been a real pleasure, and it's been great to work with everybody. And I'll be sad tomorrow when they start knocking everything down, because I'll be like, my baby, what's happened to it? But really, it's been great to work with Buck and all the guys and all the other suppliers. Oh, thank you very much.